Welcome to SVG TV News for Wednesday, May 24th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Minister of Transport and Works, Julian Francis, has described the opposition New Democratic Party's call for accountability for the spending of public funds as a diversion tactic. As it relates to the Argyle International Airport, Francis, who was on Star FM last evening, pointed out that the NDP is only reminding Vincentians of who built the air facility and that it is functional.
Opposition continues their diversion tactic. Naturally, it's a matter of accountability and constitution and law and everything and so on and whatnot. You know, the Prime Minister, the political leader and the Prime Minister has spent, and other persons who are versed in these, in the law and the constitution, I've spoken quite clearly on this matter and explained the way that things operate. But the purpose of this is not in what they're asking for. The intention here basically, while I personally have no problems with them continuing the discussion on the Argyle International Airport, because the longer the discussion on that continues, the more the people of this country would be reminded of who built it and how functioning it is, or functional, and what is happening on a daily basis at the Argyle International Airport.
Police have intercepted and picked up for questioning a disruptive on-air radio telephone caller and confiscated his cell phones. According to the ULP General Secretary and Minister of Transport and Works, Julian Francis, the male offender was taken up for questioning sometime last Wednesday and had his phone lines shut down by the telecom service provider Flow. Francis said this is a forward move to put an end to malicious radio callers through the use of legal powers.
We're not getting those interfering calls. Finally, the patience and hard work has paid off, and I'm glad to report that the police intervened, Lime intervened, and together they've created a stop to what was taking place. An individual was picked up for questioning, his phones confiscated, his phones cut off, closed down. Both numbers that I had indicated to you some time ago, those were the main culprit numbers, and those were closed off by the provider, which was Lime.
Francis, who was then bombarded by another caller who threatened him, said this was an example of why the law needed to be enforced on disruptive callers.
And the police moved in and got a hold of him, and he is, while out on bail, he has been not officially charged, but that the investigation is continuing. Last week, sometime around Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday last week, and I have heard the radio hosts saying that it's really nice not to have the disturbance.
There is an acute absence of leadership in SVG. That's according to Opposition Member of Parliament Major Sinclair Leacock while speaking on the New Times radio program earlier today, noting that the absence of true leadership, which exists not only on the national level but in all levels of the Vincentian society, has resulted in an undermanaged society. Leacock said this has led to the country not delivering as it should with regards to services and overall development. The second vice president of the opposition New Democratic Party also emphasized the point that one cannot develop a country without paying careful and meticulous attention to all constituencies.
To revisit some of the approaches to how things get done or don't get done in St. Vincent and Grenadines. It's in the old days, Bert, the pre-colonial days. We had a ministry called Ministry of Home Affairs. And the singular purpose was to make sure that things right here at home in St. Vincent are properly done, effectively done, and the right things are done. And maybe a Prime Minister can take time out and say, you know what happened? I'm going to go through, there are 52 weeks in a year. And I'm going to give every single constituency, perhaps starting with the opposition because they should know more about their own, 1 week of my time or we're taking care of the sick and the shut-ins. It's not too much for a Prime Minister to give a representative of a constituency 5 days, and which they're touring systematically and documenting with an attitude that they will attend to.
Highlighting a number of issues which he said he has encountered and had previously put forward in Parliament, the opposition MP called for more action to be taken by the ruling Unity Labour Party administration.
But we have to decide if we want to be assertive, firm, decisive, and leading. And sometimes the Prime Ministers have to decide, you know what, I have cabinet officers, I have administrative officers who run my ministry. Let me get out of this ministry. Let me go and walk the country and see the little things. And in the same vein, let me say thanks for the great sort of patching that is taking place in Kingston Park and Lower Sharps and River Road. It looks much better, but the Barrow, good job, great job. We have a lot more to do, a level garden and so forth. I'm glad to see the quality patching that's being done, you know. But there's so much more to be done, both. So much more attention that's needed, that people can feel the benefit of paying VAT, of paying taxes, and have a representative that life makes purpose.
Representatives of both political parties here should attend a joint retreat as a means of resolving some festering issues they may have. This encouragement comes from Queen's Counsel Panel Campbell as he spoke on his Law and Due program last night on SVG TV, discussing the topic dispute resolution amongst lawmakers. Campbell stated that the previous political parties normally hold retreats and noted that a joint retreat would give the parliamentarians the opportunity to interact with one another in a peaceful environment.
Where they would get together, socialize, get to know one another, and discuss matters in an informal atmosphere for a day or two or a weekend. What is wrong with both major parties having a joint retreat somewhere, sometime, so that our lawmakers can mix and mingle with one another in a non-hostile atmosphere where there are no passions on display, no officials, no official recordings of what is taking place, just informal rapping in a brotherly atmosphere.
Campbell noted that at every sitting of Parliament where there is an evening break, MPs meet in the Speaker's chambers and interact well with one another, which in his view could make a joint retreat possible.
And surprisingly, to you who don't know what goes on inside, the chat, the joke, the laugh, because they are relaxed, they are away from the public glare, they are away from the official record taking. They are just Vincentian brothers and sisters, albeit from two different parties. But when the refreshments are finished and the House resumes, they go back to their separate sides, one on one side, the government side, one on the opposition side, and they resume hostilities.
The Queen's Counsel added that in SVG and across the region, there is a growing trend of increased crime and violence which shows the breakdown in relationships between peoples, and advised politicians to show a united front in tackling crime.
And even among families, we are getting manifestations of warfare. People who used to get along well in the past, now it's dog eat dog. So that the violence we see increasing in the society is but a symptom of the deteriorating relationships among mankind. And our politicians need to understand that those trends cannot be channeled if they are fueled by a political dimension, as I think they are.
Fatherlessness is the greatest social problem, which is the cause of many social ills here in SVG and in other Caribbean countries. That's according to President of the C.W. Prescott Primary School Parent Teachers Association, Conroy Huggins, as he spoke with SVG TV News on a planned conference which will be held tomorrow under the theme Bridging the Gap at the French's House from 4:15 p.m. Huggins stated that the conference aims at getting fathers more involved in their children's academic lives and congratulated the C.W. Prescott Primary School for hosting such an important and timely event.
The whole objective of the conference is to help engage the fathers in their children's education. Myself, I'm also a teacher. I teach at one of the secondary schools in Kingstown. And the problem is throughout, you know, the issue of fatherlessness. And as educators, it is very difficult working with children also when, you know, the home support in their education is lacking. And what the teachers are doing by themselves is not going to be enough for the children to truly grasp all that they need to grasp. And especially in the primary school level, I really want to applaud the C.W. Prescott Primary School, because to take such a bold initiative and stand at this time, I think that is really commendable.
Huggins said the topics to be covered will highlight the important role of fathers in society and the need for them to get their acts together.
It is presently today the greatest social problem affecting nations, this whole issue of fatherlessness, and it has a lot of impacts, and both psychological, emotional, and they play themselves out in the society and in the social issues. So from the standpoint of where the conference from the school is being organized, they have planned 2 presentations. One of those presentations is the importance of fatherhood in today's society, and I have been asked to do that one. And the second presentation is going to be fathers as mentors, and that is Fathers as Mentors Bridging the Gap, and that is going to be done by Mr. Clayton Burnett. He's a coach, professional coach, and a parent at C.W. Prescott.
Huggins stated that all fathers are invited to attend tomorrow's conference.
I mean, we are literally locking away productive young men, and it is a security issue. It is a security issue. Most of us today are unsafe. We live in our private prisons. Most of us have our buckler-bass homes. And why? Because of crime, right? Who committed most of the crimes? Most of the crimes are committed by men. So the conference, it's going to be addressing a lot of issues. And I'm certain that the men who come to the conference are going to have some takeaways. And just to let you know that the conference, yes, it is being planned for the fathers of C.W. Prescott Primary School, but we have also extended invitations to the surrounding schools in the vicinity in Kingstown. And just about any father who wants to come and get some knowledge and some ideas as to how they can better contribute in the life of their children. Yes, it was lacking in your life, but it doesn't mean that you can't make some changes. So that's really what we want to be doing.
32-year-old Randy Shallow, along with his 22-year-old common-law wife, Frekisha Douglas, both from the community of Great House in the Lomans Hill area, were today, Wednesday 24th, sentenced to an 8-year jail term on 8 separate gun and ammunition charges. The sentence was handed down by Chief Magistrate Rayshon Brown after she delivered a handwritten decision stating that both defendants were found guilty on all charges. Shallow's and Douglas's arrest stemmed from an execution of a search warrant by law enforcement officers at their home at Great House. 3 firearms, including a submachine gun, a magazine, along with approximately 60 rounds of ammunition, were discovered. Both defendants, with legal representation from lawyer Grant Connell, contended that the illegal weapons were planted at their home by the police. The defense counsel, in his mitigation, asked the court to be lenient in its sentencing, owing to the fact that none of the defendants had prior criminal records. However, in response, Senior Prosecutor Adolphus Delpeche requested of the court a custodial sentence, stating that the offenses are very serious and a strong message must be sent out to the society, given the number of gun-related crimes in the country. Stay with us, Carnival Beat is coming right up. Welcome to Carnival Beat. Running up the lot of the 2017 Miss SVG contestants for Carnival Beat is LaDonna York, Miss Metrocent General Insurance Company Limited. At age 21, York, an only child, considers herself to be shy, but she said come show night on Saturday, June 3rd, her performance will leave patrons mesmerized. When asked about her aspirations, the Mesopotamia resident tells SVG TV's Nolisha Miller that she wants to become a pediatrician, but she also has a passion for the performing arts.
Miss Metrocent Insurance Company Limited, LaDonna York, said the world of pageantry is no easy task. However, she is ready for the big night.
I must say persistence and perseverance is the key to overcome these challenges, and it has definitely been a meaningful and a journey that I will definitely be a better individual at the end of the day. But I also see Miss SVG 2017 beyond a beauty show. I see it as a platform for holistical development which fosters well-rounded young ladies here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The contestant number 7 spoke highly of the pageant's ECGC's Women Empowerment campaign, stating that she is thrilled to be a part of something impactful.
It's very important for me because in our society, women are facing various issues, and it is important to uplift and empower each other. So with this female empowerment campaign, I definitely think it's a motivational drive and inspiration to others.
The Mesopotamia resident said she has a passion for a particular issue, which she hopes to shed light on even after the pageant.
One particular issue that I hold dear to my heart is the issue of emotional abuse. I think that when we hear the term abuse, we think of it of a physical nature. But what about the verbal assault, the constant intimidation, humiliation, and the constant bringing down of each other? We need to uplift and empower each other, as this affects the person's identity, their dignity, and their self-worth in life. So I will definitely like to bring this issue to the forefront and draw some awareness to it.
And when asked about her relationship with her pageant colleagues, the 21-year-old said the bond which has been formed over the past several months might very well be unbreakable.
Oh, it's not a relationship I expected. I'm an only child, and I'm definitely proud to say I have 6 new sisters. We are loving to each other, and we definitely promote what we preach, love, unity, and together we are quite a bunch.
York took the opportunity to encourage patrons to come out in their numbers to support all 7 contestants, and promises a delightful transformation of herself on stage at Carnival City, Victoria Park.
Many persons know LaDonna York as a shy person, but come Saturday, June 3rd, come and see a new LaDonna York, vibrant, intelligence, elegance, and poise. See you there on Saturday, June 3rd.
Catalyst for change. This year's Miss SVG contestants have been offered a platform where they tackle social issues affecting the Vincentian community. And as the CDC celebrates 40 years of the June-July Mass, the Women Empowerment Campaign is just one of the innovations implemented, which is expected to prolong for years to come. Nolisha Miller, The Evening News.
With only a few weeks to go before her reign ends, Miss SVG 2016 Nikiana Williams said the experience has been quite rewarding. Williams explained that she has been allowed the opportunity to be involved in several activities that have positively impacted the lives of many. However, she expressed disappointment that the Women Empowerment Campaign came at a time when she is on the verge of handing over her crown.
When I found out about the Woman Empowerment Campaign, I whispered to Lafon and said, why didn't we have that in our year? Because I think it's definitely a good initiative for the young ladies to have a platform and to reach out to the public. So it seems like if you have something that you're working towards, and I would have definitely loved this opportunity, because my platform, my personal platform for when I entered Miss SVG was to alleviate child hunger here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I'm still passionate about this, and if I have the opportunity to be empowering to young women or to children, I would definitely use my platform to eliminate child hunger here in St. Vincent.
Williams stated that if given the opportunity to do it all again, she wouldn't hesitate to take advantage of the opportunity.
If I had the opportunity to do the training to become Miss SVG, maybe not. I may not do that, but I think that to become Miss SVG again, I will definitely take that chance, and I will try my best to see how much more I could do and how much more lives I can impact.
And what's next for Nikiana?
I want to go to university. I want to go to UWI in Barbados, Cave Hill, to study psychology. I want to become a child psychologist.
The reigning Miss SVG indicated that she takes her role as a guide for this year's contestants seriously in an effort to boost their confidence and for them to put on a great show.
I interact with them whenever we get to meet, and I try my best to encourage them as much as I can. So if I see them falling down in a certain area, I would definitely tell them, okay, maybe you can do this. I will not tell them openly for everyone to hear. I will whisper to them and say, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, you know, just to boost their confidence and make them feel like, you know, someone is on their side.